As the Clone Wars began to drag on, and the Separatist droid army was proving to be not as effective as Count Dooku had originally hoped, against the incredible strength of the Republic's clone troopers, something had to change. Because of this, Dooku had met up with officials from the Trade Federation who had created a new battle droid design which would change the face of the war for good, replacing the old B-1 units, and end any hope of the Republic coming out on top. One battle droid, however, was absolutely furious and saddened that Dooku was going to replace him and send all of his droid brothers to the scrap heap. So he did something absolutely crazy. So let's find out what he did. Before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed for more awesome Star Wars lore content. The story begins far out in the remote parts of the Outer Rim, where the Republic's clone forces are staging a daring raid on a Separatist factory in hopes of stealing a heavily encrypted and highly valuable data chip. Republic gunships swarm in the skies above the dusty Outer Rim world, and they very quickly come under heavy fire from Separatist vulture droids in all directions. On the ground, the clone troopers of the 501st and the Coruscant Guard are locked in a fierce standoff with the marching B-1 battle droid forces and are very quickly being closed in. The Coruscant Guard and the 501st have been sent in because their mission is so critical to the Republic and to Palpatine himself that some of the Republic's top troopers were needed. As the fighting rages on, the battle droid forces receive a communication from their leader, Count Dooku, who orders them to recover the encrypted file from the planet at all costs. The file is so crucial in the Separatist future plans for the war and must be recovered in any way possible, even if that means killing many civilians to do so. As the battle droids hear this order, their leader shouts out to his fellow droids that they must recover the file and leave no clone unturned. His brothers agree, shouting "Roger, Roger," and they immediately spot Clone Trooper 610 running through the badly damaged streets holding a briefcase, which they believe holds the encrypted file. Trooper 610's brothers valiantly fight to cover him as he runs with the briefcase, but unfortunately, many of the battle droids are simply too quick for them and kill many clone troopers. This small squad of B-1 battle droids are absolutely ruthless, more so than any before them. The leader himself coldly takes aim and fires on any living being he sees with extreme accuracy and absolutely no hesitation. Following this, 610 manages to barely make it to cover and finds a control terminal where he is able to plug in the encrypted file and begin the process of decrypting it. His brothers from the Coruscant Guard then provide major cover for him, protecting him from the marching battle droids, but he shouts out to his commander that he simply can't decrypt the file. The encryption used on this file is a pattern that he has never seen before and can't recognize. His commander, however, orders Trooper 610 to keep working on it, as it is absolutely crucial that the Republic find out what is on this mysterious file. And to keep our tradition going, make sure you let me know down below what you think this brave clone commander should be called, since it's confirmed that this trooper is not anyone we saw in the Clone Wars series, like Thaya or even Commander Fox with a different helmet. So tell me what his name should be down below. Following this, the leader of the B-1 battle droid squad rushes out onto the street where the control terminal is, bursting out of a smoking building before tragically killing the red-trimmed clone commander with a single blast to the chest and another precise shot to kill the other clone trooper nearby. This ruthless B-1 battle droid is not going to stop until he has this tiny chip in his arms. And since we gave a name to the clone commander, also let me know what this ruthless B-1 battle droid should be named. After this, the lethal B-1 unit turns his aim to Trooper 610 before taking only a single precise shot, blowing a massive hole through his helmet and killing him immediately. The battle droid then rushes over to the terminal and removes the encrypted data chip before declaring that he has acquired the objective. Following this, the B-1 leader then sneaks away from his main group of brothers while the fighting rages on behind him. The B-1 battle droid then rushes into a nearby building where his brothers are facing a horde of clone troopers coming their way, and they begin shouting at this brave B-1 unit to hold the lines because the clone forces are getting close, but he has no desire to do this. He shouts out, "They all look the same to me," before rushing to a nearby escape ship set up by Count Dooku, leaving all of his droid brothers behind. In his mind, he has horrible pain to do this because for some reason he has emotions rushing through him, but his mission is still more important. As his escape ship zooms away from the war-torn, fiery streets below, the Republic clone troopers open fire on it, but they don't manage to do enough damage in time, meaning the Separatists now have control of the encrypted data chip. Following this, the B-1 battle droid flies his escape ship to a secret asteroid outpost operated by Count Dooku and the Trade Federation. As the brave B-1 unit exits his ship, he is then escorted by a highly trained group of Trade Federation bodyguards, as he is now holding the most important piece of intelligence in the entire galaxy. As the heavily armed guards take the B-1 unit into the central chamber of the station, they meet up with high-ranking officials from the Trade Federation and Count Dooku himself. At this point, the Trade Federation officials regard this lone clanker as a war hero to the Confederacy for managing to extract the data, and say that they would be giving him a hero's salute on Raxus Prime if he wasn't a droid. Dooku warns the Trade Federation official, however, that it isn't wise to get sentimental over machinery, but little does he know, this clanker is not just a pile of scrap metal and is actually experiencing a flood of emotion. Following this, the Trade Federation counselor informs Count Dooku that the data chip appears to have survived the extraction mission completely intact and that they can start celebrating. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. After this, the counselor decrypts the plans and begins to show Count Dooku the designs for the most perfect series of battle droids ever conceived. The Trade Federation believe that they will be unstoppable killing machines, and once these models go into production, the Republic's clone troopers will fall like torn flesh under a laser knife, and that the old B-1 units will become completely obsolete. The Trade Federation hope that the B-1 units will only ever be used for spare parts in the future. As this is happening, the lethal B-1 unit is closely listening into the conversation to see what his fate will be, and is infuriated to hear that his brothers will be made obsolete and turned to spare parts. He knows that he has to do something to stop this. Following this, Dooku orders his plans to be transmitted to his battle droid factories across the galaxy, and the officials from the Trade Federation begin the process. But before the transmission is complete, the B-1 unit is filled with rage and lifts his weapon before firing on the control panel, destroying the plans and ending the transmission. Dooku is infuriated by this, and the Trade Federation bodyguards are completely shocked, saying, "Some kind of weapons malfunction from the looks of it, sir." This sends the Neimoidians into an absolute panic, as their plans are now lost. Dooku then angrily asks them, "You don't have a backup copy, Counselor?" And they sheepishly respond, "That would have been too risky. If the plans ever fell into enemy hands, they might discover a weakness." Before he can even finish his sentence, however, Count Dooku snaps at the idiotic Neimoidian, ragefully asking, "Then we've lost everything because of this weapons malfunction? Totally unacceptable." One of the bodyguards then calls the Count over, in massive confusion, telling him that there's nothing wrong with the droid's blaster. It's perfectly functioning. Dooku cannot believe this, because that would mean that the droid sabotaged the plans. After realizing that this droid is not just a simple, mindless machine, he flies into complete madness, demanding that the droid be destroyed on the spot and melted down into slag. And to end the story in tragedy, the B-1 battle droid declares that his platoon brothers still have battles to fight. Obsolescence and the scrapyard can wait. They have plenty more of their mechanical lives still left to live. In his final moments, many memories of all the battles he's fought during the Clone Wars rush through his brain circuits, but he knows this is for a good cause. He is willing to sacrifice his own life for his brothers. You really don't often see that from a droid, and you'd often see that from the clone troopers of the Republic. So it's actually pretty awesome to see this happen on the other side of the war for once, and it shows you that the droids weren't just mindless and non-sentient beings, but they did actually care about the other droids that they fought with, and some of them did actually manage to break free from their programming and gain emotions. Obviously this wasn't too common, but as you can see, it definitely did happen. As he exclaims this, the Neimoidian bodyguards immediately turn on him and melt the brave battle droid down to nothing but molten metal. And let me know down below if you would be proud to serve alongside this B-1 battle droid. He certainly was braver than most of the others. So that is the B-1 battle droid who broke free from his programming and felt emotions. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.